Okay, let's get to it. Okay, Assassin's Creed, directed by Justin Kurzel, I believe Kurzel.
Sure.
Might be butchering his last name, but he directed Macbeth, which also starred the same people that are in Assassin's Creed, because it's so forgettable. Michael Fassbender plays the lead with Marion Cotillard.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great. Jeremy Irons is in it. Great. They're all great. Are their characters great? No.
You can only work with what you're given.
They literally just play themselves. That's the other thing. That doesn't mean it's bad acting. No, it's great. It's the typical Michael Fassbender thing or the typical Marion Cotillard. They don't stretch their acting at all. The director probably just said, "Do what you do best," and they did. So, I guess that's a positive. Quick background. I love these games. These are like one of my favorite games, and I was going in for so much anticipation. This was probably in my top 10 most anticipated films for me personally. And maybe it's such a bad film because I had such high expectations. And maybe if I went in with low expectations, it would have been better. But I'll just start with the positives, which I already did. But the next one is action scenes. They were good. I was entertained by them. The cinematography was really good too. This guy, Justin, knows how to get a good shot. And you can see it in the trailers as well. It's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful looking film. I will give him that. I don't know if I need to blame the director or the studio because literally it just feels like they made this movie just on the spot. They didn't give any heart to it. They didn't care about the story at all. They were just like, we need great A actors. Well, people will watch this movie because if they're in it. And it kind of sucks because this movie only made $10 million the first weekend. And it's a movie.
Did it really?
It made only
That is low.
$10 million for a movie with Michael Fassbender and Marion Cotillard, Jeremy Irons, and it's a video game movie. And the great actors, I guess. Let's get to the negatives. Mediocre, confusing story. It just does not make any sense. It took me a while for it to kick in, but when I started thinking about the story and what I was shown on the screen, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, for somebody who knows the video games, and Tim knows it very well, I know that he would be confused.
I don't know. I didn't play them all.
You didn't play them all? I haven't played them all either.
1, 2, and I'm somewhere in the middle of
If you played at least 3, you can get the gist of, the Assassin's Creed feel.
I get the feel.
This one, it does have the feel of Assassin's Creed. Like, yes, this is what an Assassin's Creed movie would feel like. It's just the story that they have is not good. It's very confusing. It's the third act is really the worst part of the film. The first 2 acts I can get by, but the third act just does not make any sense. They just felt like let's make a sequel. End of the movie, boom. And it's like, oh, that's cool. This movie does deserve a sequel, I will say that. It does deserve because I want to see a better script. I want to see a better story. And they leave it off, like I did somewhat like the ending because I was like, okay, a sequel, but I felt like they only paid attention to just end this story and get to a sequel instead of just focusing on the story that they had and putting heart into it. Instead of just focusing on the look and the action, they totally disregarded the story. Moving on to the next freaking negative. Wasted potential. There was a glimmering little light. You know, like when there's just a little hole in a curtain and you just see some light shining through and you just want to rip it open. It doesn't happen. You just see that little light and it just stays there. And actually, no, it just dimmers and dimmers and dimmers.
The trailer I saw was like, it was basically like cool fights and parkour taking place in the past. I mean, that's what was marketed to me.
That's what's marketed.
Is that not what you got?
It
parkour in the past.
25 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes of that in an hour and 50-minute movie. That is stupid. Okay.
I do know after the first trailer came out, they said 65% of the movie is current day.
Current day, yes. That's okay. That's my last.
As soon as I heard that, I was just kind of like,
yeah, I'm not intrigued anymore. I just didn't want to believe it. I was literally being like, no, this movie's gonna be good. I was like, this movie's gonna be good, guys. Even though it's at 16%, I'm still gonna think it's good. They were right.
You gotta work for that.
I think, yeah, the last 2, it's really slow. It's really freaking slow. I didn't want to admit it, but the first 50 minutes are atrociously slow. It's just like, oh my god, how did they make a video game movie like this so boring? And the last one being, how you said it, literally 65, maybe even 70% of the movie is in the prison area at the Animus. Oh, we're getting somewhere. 20 minutes again. 5 minutes again. It's all over, and I hated it. The issue, and that's why this is one of the most disappointing movies this year. Not the worst, but disappointing. So after all that, I'm going to give Assassin's Creed a 5.5 out of 10.
Wow.
I was jiggling around between 5.8 or 5.5. I wasn't going to give it a 6, but it might go lower over time when I watch it again, because I will.
It has failed you. You're going to watch it again?
One at like Redbox. My next review, without grunting, is going to be Fences. So, hope you enjoyed this review. Have a blessed day.
It's not easy for me to admit that I've been standing in the same place for 18 years.
Well, I've been standing with you. I got a life too. Don't you think I had dreams and hopes? What about my life? What about me? What are you gonna do?
Some people build fences to keep people out, and other people build fences to keep people in.